Hi, I'm Ronald Edward. Welcome to my channel. So I really want to make a very big appreciation to as many that actually watched my first video, which I talked about how to become successful reducing 2 of your emotions. And if you have not watched it, make sure you pause this one, go and watch it and come back, because this one is like a part 2, but we are moving into the employees mentality. So in this video, you're actually going to learn how to stop thinking like an employee. You know, many employees, all they know is, oh, I need to go to work. Then after going to work, month ending or ending of the month, what they look for is, oh, it's time to collect my salary. It's time to collect my paycheck. So welcome back. You know, the reason why I actually created this content, this video, is to enlighten more people, because I also fell victim of how employees think. So, but after reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, but this is Cashflow Quadrant. After reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, I actually understood that I'm actually a victim of employees' mentality. So now we're going to begin with this. The story of me like 4 months or 6 months ago. So I figured out that I need to make money, man. So what did I do? I went to work in a restaurant. Now I'm working in a restaurant, and after some weeks, after some months, my boss saw that I could handle every part of the restaurant. I was working hard for the money, you understand? So she saw that I can handle, he saw that I can handle every part of the restaurant, from the customer to the pricing to delivery to everything. So I noticed that my boss began pressing his phone, like spending his time on his phone more than he was. I noticed, and I was like, wow, my boss now had so much of free time. But me, I did not have so much of free time because I was handling his business, his restaurant, and everything. So I started reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, but I've not yet understood it that time. So I was asking myself, why is things are now changing? I'm becoming very good in talking with customers and everything. I'm becoming very good in being an employee. But things started changing the day I read Rich Dad for the second time. That was when I noticed that I was working hard just to get paid, not asking my boss, like, how does it think as a businessman? How does it think as an entrepreneur? So one day I asked him, what do you understand about money? Because you know, Robert was asking his rich dad, can you teach us how to make money, and what do you understand about making money? So when I asked, that was when I started getting enlightened about how my boss thinks. Let me explain. The way employees think is actually different from the way their business owner thinks, like the entrepreneurs, which is the owner of the business. All employees thinking is to work, make the salary at the end of the month, and get paid and digest it. But all the boss is thinking about is to produce the work, employ more employees, make the money, and have so much free time. Do you see the difference? So the entrepreneur, the business owner, is thinking of how can I solve more problems so that I can employ more people and they will work for me in the business, and I will have more free time to do whatever I like with whoever I like. You understand? If you notice, if your boss make some amount of money and he want to invest that money, the fear he has in him is not much than the fear you as the employee, just like me that time. Just like the fear that you have, you understand? So his own fear is not going to be so high, because he knows that if he invests, let's say for example 20 million, he knows that he has a business already that can continue providing the money, producing the money. So if he invests 20 million, he's just investing into it. If it works, if it does not work, you understand? Let's say you understand the principle of investing. But you as the employee, because all you don't have a business actually, you are working in this business. So all you can think of is, I can't invest 20 million. You see the difference? Your boss is thinking of investing 20 million because he has built a system that is working for him without being there. You see the difference? But you as the employee, you need to start thinking in his own direction. So the first thing I did was I stopped collecting salary. Serious. It was actually painful. It's what Rich Dad said. He said it is actually better to work to learn. Don't work for money. I think that is in chapter 2 or chapter 3. Yes, he said the rich don't work for money, they work to learn. You understand? So that was I told my boss, don't pay me. He was surprised, like, seriously? So he was happy, but he does not know that I wanted to learn something, which is how to not be attached to money. So when it comes to thinking as an employee, the first thing that comes to your mind when the subject money is spoken is what? Fear. Fear is actually one of the most emotion that makes many employees still remain and still work for money in their boss's company. Let me explain. The fear of, oh, I don't have any money. By 6 o'clock early in the morning, they wake up. Oh, I need to go to work. They rush out of the door, just like Robert said. They rush out of their house, goes to work, come back in the evening or in the night. They don't ask themselves, what is it that I am actually missing? They don't allow their brain do the thinking for them. They allow their emotion, which is fear. They allow their emotion think for them instead of them asking themselves, what am I missing? Can I continue this every day? They have not yet asked themselves, what am I missing? What is the missing link between this point and my sources? What is the future of me working in this business just for money? You understand where I'm going to now? So by the time they begin thinking, what am I missing? How is this? Then the next thing that begin to flow is the action, which is them asking their boss, the employees asking their boss, what do you understand about making money? What do you understand about building a business? What do you understand about building business systems? You see the difference? So, and I've noticed something. Every boss, every entrepreneur, every business owner, they are always happy to teach people that are willing to learn, even if it is their employee. The reason why Rich Dad Poor Dad, Rich Dad's Cashflow Quadrant, Rich Dad Advice for Investing, all those books of Robert Kiyosaki talking about rich dad. The reason why they came to existence was actually because Robert and his friend, which is Mike, when they were 9 years old, they were the only two people in Rich Dad's life that ever asked him, how can we make money? You understand? Even his employees, his manager, his construction worker, all of them, they never asked him. They never asked Rich Dad, how do you normally think financially? And when they asked him, Robert and Mike, when they asked him, how do you normally think financially and how do you normally make money and how can we make money? The first thing he told them was, don't work for money, work to learn. Do you understand? He said the rich don't work for money, they work to learn, because they understand that the more they learn, the more they earn. You see the difference? The more you learn, the more you earn. So if you're an employee, don't always be too attached to working for money. You should look at the phrase. The phrase is there, working for money or working for your boss. You see the difference? Make sure you are not fixed, like your eyes is not fixated to the money, because true emotion will take over, just like I mentioned in my other video. So now, when you have noticed that, okay, you are already becoming good in reducing your emotion of fear and desire when it comes to money, then you start asking your boss, can you teach me about building a business system? I'm very sure 90% of the bosses, because they are great leaders, yes, they are going to tell you, okay, this is how we're going to do it. You see, they will even organize like a class to teach their employees how they can also build a successful business system. And the first thing they will ever tell you is, number one, reducing your fear. The only thing that limits a man from fulfilling his destiny that God has given him is fear. Yes. Fear of the unknown, fear of tomorrow, fear of being laughed at by your friends, fear of what will other people say, fear of I don't know if it will work, fear of let me not take risk, fear of let me just play smart, fear of I'm not that good. See, let me tell you, you are good no matter who you are. As an employee, you were aligned to work in a business for a purpose, which is number one, to learn. You are in that organization, that company today, so that you can learn something. So if you start asking your boss, you see, if you start telling you, reducing your fears, because if you make your fear of failure higher than your determination for success, you're not going to succeed. But if you make your determination for success higher than your fear of failure, you're going to succeed because you are determined. And when you are determined, no matter what comes your way, you are going to succeed. You get? So now, talking about asking your boss some question. Actually, you're not going to ask too much of question every time. Like, okay, today now you ask like 100 questions. No, you take it bit by bit and let your boss direct you. And anything you don't understand, always try to ask questions. So when you see your boss, yes, it's already teaching you about reducing your fear, then the next chapter is going to teach you, I'm very sure, is how to think. Just like a book I read some months ago, Think and Grow Rich. That book by Napoleon Hill, I recommend it too. That book is actually very good because just from the title, you can understand how you can grow rich. It's just by thinking. Even as an employee, you should always know how to think too. Yes. So the book talked just from the title of the book, Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill never said work hard and grow rich. He never said work harder and grow rich. He said think. So the second phase that your boss might put you through after the understanding of money and emotions attached to money, which is fear, is how to think. Your boss, the reason why he built a business system that is successful was because he thought. Everything you see in life today, everything, no matter what it is it book, is it pen, anything, is it phone, is it technology, is it AI, all of them were all products of the thinking, like product of idea from ideas. So they pass through imagination. You're going to find that in Think and Grow Rich. So thinking is the next phase. You ask yourself, when you are thinking, you ask yourself questions like, what are people in my environment, people in my surrounding, okay, let's say you're an employee, people in my workplace, what are they facing that they are not happy with? Like, what is the problem they are facing but they are not happy with? So when you start knowing the problem, you cannot just know the problem by just sitting down and think. Yes, first of all, you have to think. But second of all is that you have to also meet them and get feedback, like asking them questions. You can ask them questions like, what are you facing that you are not happy with in this society, in this organization? Then when you start knowing it, then start implementing ways that you can solve those problems. Every business owner, every successful business owner, successful entrepreneur, and every successful business people, they're always known for three things. Number one is they are known for their business idea skills, how they think. What are people in my environment facing? What problem are they facing? How can I solve the problem creatively that can produce money for me? That is how most of the bosses, that is how they think. Then number two is their leadership skills. One thing about leadership skills is it's not managing people. Leadership skills is not about managing people. It's about working with different heads. Working with different heads means that this one is bringing an idea, this one is bringing an idea, this one is bringing... All the ideas are their opinions, their perspective of how they view things. So you as an employee that want to start thinking, that want to start changing your thoughts of how you think like an employee to how you think like an entrepreneur, just like the boss of your company. You can start learning leadership skills. Leadership skills is working with many heads. You understand? Just like I said before. So when this one bring his opinion, his perspective, his idea, this one also bring. Let him be free to talk. If this one is also bringing, let him be free to talk. That's leadership skills. So your boss understands leadership skills. He has it and he knows how to use it. That's why you notice that he can talk to 500 of his employees, 200 of his employees. When he talk, he knows how to inspire people. You understand? And knowing how to inspire people is also a leadership skill under leadership. Because for you to have a great teamwork, you need a great team. And for you to have a great team that work together, you need to have somebody, which is the leader, which is the entrepreneur, which is the business owner, that is going to inspire, motivate, and captivate people. Like, you understand? Make them happy to work on. Then the third one is how they control their emotions. If you say, let me say the truth, everybody have fears. The richest, the poorest, the middle people, poor people, rich people, middle class people, everybody have fears. But the difference is that some use their fear to make it think of what they should do next. Do you understand? Like the poor people, when you see they are getting afraid of losing money, let's say in an investment, they'll be afraid. Then their fear will tell them, I told you to play it safe. I told you not to invest your money. You understand? But when it comes to the rich guys, your boss, the business owner, just like my boss, my restaurant boss, instead of thinking, using his emotions or fear to think, he will use his fear to fuel himself. Do you understand? Instead of your boss using his fear to think, he will use the fear to fuel himself and to increase his faith. That's how you see when many people are giving up in some particular things. You see, there's some set of people, they will tell you no matter how difficult it will be, I won't give up. You understand? Those are the people that understand how to control their emotions so that their emotion will not think for them. They will be the one thinking by themselves. Yeah, so changing your thoughts of how you think like an employee. One of the next step I would advise is asking. The first step I would advise is asking your boss questions of how he thinks about money, how he builds system, how he does that. Yes. The next step is for you to meet other people. Ask them, what are the problems that you're facing? So the second thing I'm going to advise is ask people around you, what are you facing? What are you facing that you are not happy with? It can be anything. Just ask them questions, because the only way you can provide a solution to a problem is for you to know the problem. I know one thing that separates the entrepreneur, the business people, business owners from employees is that when they know a particular problem that is happening to them or their business, they don't focus on the problem, they focus on the solution. Because if you dwell too much on the problem, you build anxiety, you build fear. Oh, this problem is going to cause this, this problem is going to cause this. That is how the employees think. This problem, oh yeah, what can I do? This problem is going to cause this, this problem is going to cause this, going to cause this, going to cause this. They are not thinking like the entrepreneur. How can we solve this problem? You understand? You see the difference? The entrepreneur are dwelling and making their effort and their time thinking of solutions to the problem. But the employee are thinking about the problem that the problem will produce. That is just it. So the third thing I will encourage is, when you start knowing those problems, don't dwell too much on them. Dwell on what are the solutions I can offer. This can be in your workplace, this can be anywhere, it can be in your school, your class, anywhere. So start thinking of this solution, because entrepreneurs don't think of problem. Yes, there's already a problem, but they don't dwell on the problem. They dwell on what can we produce to solve the problem, either creatively, innovatively, any area. So the next step to stop thinking like an employee is to start creating plans. When you have noticed that, okay, yes, this might be the solution. Okay, this is the problem, but we're not dwelling on the problem. Let's dwell on the solution. Okay, this is the solution now. What plans can we create? You see that you are now thinking as a leader. And when you start thinking as a leader, you are now thinking as an entrepreneur, just like your boss. So you start thinking, what are the plans that we can put in place? You can also meet other people that that yes, they are business people too, but all of you are still growing. So you meet them, what are the plans, what are the structures, the systems that we can put in place to solve this particular problem. Just meet them, oh, I found out that these guys, this set of people are actually facing this particular problem. What do you think are the plans that we can put in place to solve them? Then you see, you start creating people, you start drawing people closer to you, because they want to also solve people's problem. That's one thing about people. People like solving other people's problem. So when you start drawing people, okay, yes, you now have some business partners that are complying with you. You notice that challenges is going to come. Yes, challenges will come. But the only thing that will make you achieve that your goal of changing your mindset from an employee to changing your mindset to becoming an entrepreneur, just like your boss, your business, the business owner, is the power of persistence. Challenges will come, obstacles will come, but it depends on if you have the strong desire and you can persist, that no matter anything I face, I will reach this goal. You understand? So after creating a plan, you have to see, like, you have to follow the goal until you start seeing the goal in place. Yes, that is what actually many business people, many entrepreneurs, that's what they did for them to build their business. When you start following those plans, you understand, you follow the plans well, but you make sure the plans are good plans. They are plans that it is going to benefit the society. And yes, very true. So when you start following those plans, then you start putting all that needs to be in place. You start putting it. You start helping people, speaking to people. Okay, these are the solutions that we can provide. Let's see how we can implement it and it will work. You understand? Then from there, you notice you are already building your leadership skill. Everybody, every human, we are all leaders. We have leadership spirits, but not everybody has grown the spirit of leadership that is in them. It's different. The leadership spirit and the spirit of leadership. The Spirit of Leadership, the book is by Dr. Miles Monroe. So you can actually read it. It's very good for leaders, teamwork, and innovative thinking and everything. So when you start thinking, okay, these are the plans, the next step, now I'll say this, the next thing that make many business owners, like from small business owners, not to fulfill their goal to become great business owners today, is because they have all the plans they need. every plan they need for their business. But the only thing that made them not to reach their goal, not to become successful in their business, is that they did not execute that plan. It is one thing to think, it is another thing to have your plans. It is still another thing to execute them. You understand? So if you have your plans, you have thought, yes, you and some of your guys and business partners, you have thought and you have brought opinion, you have brought out plans, and it's time for execution. If you make your execution longer, it will take more time for you to actually reach that business goal. But if you make your execution time very short, yes, normally you are going to fail, you are going to learn from your experiences. You understand? In the beginning I said work to learn. You are going to learn. Even if you fail, know that failing is part of the success process. You understand? One of the ways to success is by failing. If you don't fail, you won't learn. You fail so that you can learn from the experience. So when you execute fast, you have greater chance of failing 3 times or 2 times or 4 times, but you have actually gained some experiences. So when you gain some experiences, the next thing is very simple. After execution, you have learned from, oh, these are the mistakes we made, this is what we will correct. The next year or the next month, try implementing what you have learned to what you have already put in place, and that is just it. One thing about thinking as an employee is that all you want to think is, let me just go to work, and at the end of the month, let me just receive my salary. Seriously, that's just all I want. That's how employees think. Employees don't look at, oh, what are the systems that are put in place that this business is running, and how am I benefiting? Like, how is this business benefiting from me? You understand? But all the employees want to do, most employees want to do, is just to work harder, receive their salary. Work harder, receive their salary, which is good. But you want to start changing your thoughts, how you think as an employee. Now you want to begin to think as an entrepreneur. So changing your thoughts of how you think as an employee to change your thoughts of how you think as an entrepreneur is a very simple process. Just like I said, meet your boss, ask your boss some questions, start asking people, what are you facing that you know, oh, this is a problem to you, and you're actually looking for a solution. Get some people that you know that, yes, these guys are also, they can also be my business partners, but make sure you are careful when choosing business partners. So, because I've actually worked with so many people, I'm a brand designer, work with so many people, and I ask myself, I really regret working with this guy. So be careful with the people you work with, the people you choose as your alliance, your business partners. So when you work, you make your plans, you execute your plan very fast, you learn from the mistake of your execution, and you see that you start building your leadership skill, you start building your creative thinking, your creative imagination, and you start working, knowing how to work with many people. So thank you so much I really appreciate the other guys that they commented, they gave me some nice comments. So actually I love that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And so if you have any question, anything, comments, like, subscribe. God bless you.